Hey guys, so this is February 19th, 2016, and we are now officially up here in Ohio. I was going to do a nice little stroll, a nice little walk around so you guys could see what the middle of Ohio looks like, but it is very, very windy today. Like if I go like just right here, just outside of where this building is, all of a sudden there's lots of gusts of wind, and so you probably won't be able to hear me at all. So we won't be doing the walking thing. So I'll just sit here and talk a bit about the ideas of the poor people that are stuck in these weird little places in the middle of nowhere, and trying again to get you guys to realize that just because your entire world is made up of a place that doesn't have a lot of possibilities, that is not what the rest of the world is like. So a lot of my family is from these types of places, right? Again, I come from a Midwestern family, and they are scattered all over the Midwest. And having cornfields literally right beside where the Taco Bell and the Kmart are is considered pretty normal. But what's really weird here for me, so like I say, I'm within spitting distance of 40 now, and what's been really curious is as I have become an adult, this whole gentrification concept has been getting more and more traction. So when I was growing up as a kid, like in West Virginia and other places, it used to be the type of thing like I could wander around old factories, and there weren't even fences up, right? This isn't like the modern day where you can go to Detroit or something and you can jump a fence and you can be trespassing and you can wander around old factories. A lot of the places that I was in, like, they didn't even have fences up. It was just like, here's an old derelict factory right in the middle of town. Kids need something to do. It's a good playground, right? And if a kid dies, well, natural selection. Well, as I turned 18, 19, and 20, this whole gentrification movement has come about in a lot of places. And so a lot of these places that I go to, that I grew up at, or that I spent a lot of time in as a kid, where again, you could wander through old factories and they were just like these derelict places, nowadays are all foo-foo. So like literally, one of the old factories I used to wander through is now a very frou-frou, yuppie, like shopping place. It is so bizarre. Like I remember being able to go through there and just like walk on like the beams and hope I didn't fall 3 stories to the ground. And now you go there and it's all artisanal, whatever. Well, the thing is, seeing things like that, you kind of get the idea that that's what the entire world is like. Like, the entire world is gentrifying. Like, all of these places, wherever you are, they're getting nicer and nicer things and prettier things. And then coming back here to where my grandparents were for most of their lives, it's really curious to see that this place is, like, exactly like I remember it. Yep, just about exactly. Well, no, I do have to say, the Taco Bell looks like it got a facelift. The Taco Bell got a facelift, and I think McDonald's got a facelift. But it's not like they're new. Like, I think they've always been there. They just got a facelift because they're corporate. But like the crappy old Kmart is there, and the Kroger is there, and the town is falling apart. Like we're in this hotel, right? So we're in this hotel here, and this is like the nicest hotel my wife could get a room in here. The nicest one. And I swear to you, like the wallpaper is falling off the wall, like just falling off the walls. Like you walk in and like the carpet and all that is like 30 years old. My wife went to use the fitness room this morning, and literally she said like every single item in the fitness room was broken, type of deal, right? And so it's interesting to see these kind of places, and you start to realize that a lot of people are still in these places that haven't developed, that there actually, in fact, are not opportunities. Like there are just no opportunities here. I was talking to the lady at the desk, and basically she said like all the factories and everything are gone, and basically the people that stay here commute to other places. So there are other towns, other cities around. So they have to like drive however far. And so the one thing that I want some of you guys to realize, because some people out there get really snarky, and they're like, well, Eli, yeah, sure, you have a nice life. Eli, isn't it wonderful for you? But you have to understand, those of us who live in the real world, we don't have it privileged like you. And again, one of the things that I would just like to say to some folks is that please realize that your world is not the entire world. My world is not the entire world. We live within our own little spheres, right? And so sometimes all you have to do to find success is get the hell out of your little sphere. right? Because again, like if you wanted to be an app developer, so I'm here in the middle of Ohio, again, farm country. There's literally the cornfield right there, right? And you said, Eli, I want to be an app developer. How do I do it out here in the middle of corn country? I would tell you not to. I'd be like, go somewhere else. At least go to Columbus, for Christ's sake. Columbus, maybe Cleveland, go to a big city, right? Because that's the thing, is that in order to be successful for a lot of these things that you want to do, you simply need a critical mass. You need people who want to buy your product. Again, so I'm staying in this hotel, and this is the nicest hotel we could get a room in an entire kingdom. And this hotel, literally, the wallpaper is falling off the walls. It's vaguely disgusting. Vaguely disgusting, right? So the thing is, right, so if you want to be an app developer here in the middle of nowhere, Ohio, the problem is who's going to buy your product, right? If these people can't even get around to changing the wallpaper in 30 years at least, right, do you think they're going to buy some new fancy-fangled app from you? Hell no. So if you sit there and you're like, well, Eli, must be nice for you, but, I'm in the middle of Ohio, and so, nobody wants to buy apps here. Well, guess what? Then move. Can move, right? And I feel like so many people just don't get that concept. Again, if you go to the Baltimore area, Baltimore City alone has 600,000 people. Then the metro area around it has like 1.5. So like within the Baltimore metro area, within a commutable area, you have 2 million people. 2 million people. Here, Cornfield, Ohio, I don't know, whatever the hell the metro area of this is, Are we in the double-digit thousands around here? 10,000, 20,000, right? So if you're going to start a business, especially something like a technology business, and basically, again, sales is a numbers game. Sales, 1 out of 100 people are going to want your product. Do you want to be selling in an area that has 2 million people, or in a place that has 10, maybe 20,000 people? Right? So this is something to really be thinking about. And not only that, but even if you're in this area and you're like, yeah, but Eli, but in this area there are no other app developers, right? And because you say, Eli, it's all a numbers game. But one of the numbers you got to think about is competition, right? So if you go to a place that has 2 million people, how many people are going to be competing with you, Eli? If I go there, there's going to be hundreds of app development companies, which there may be. There's quite a few, actually. So if I'm here, there are no app development companies, right? So wouldn't it be better to be in a place that has zero competition versus a place that has so much competition? But again, as I say, if the nicest hotel in town has wallpaper falling off the walls, literally falling off the walls, is this the type of environment where people are going to want to invest in the products that you have to sell? Right? Because even in the Baltimore area, the nice thing with the Baltimore area when I was doing consulting is that it was so big that even if you had Luddites, even if you had people that wanted to deal with old technology, you also had a lot of people that wanted to do new technology. But again, in the Baltimore area, it was difficult as a consultant many days because I ran into business owners, not consumers, business owners who were very happy that the highest level of technology they had in their office was a typewriter. Right? Again, literally, I had a couple, like when I was not out there knocking on doors, I had a few business owners, and they said, well, if you can tune that up, I'll be more than happy to pay you. And I looked over, and it was an electric typewriter. Well, yeah, what? I don't even know what the hell to do with that, right? So if you're in an environment that they don't care about that kind of development and everything, and again, then you can't sell any product. And so this is something that I really want you guys to think about. And the reason that I'm bringing this up is, one, it's just topical. I am here in the cornfield country. But then, two, like I say, I see so many of the people that get complaining and snarky and trolly towards me. Like, Eli, oh, it must be nice. But so you sit there and you're like, well, it's just, again, it's business. If you want to be a farmer, if you're in corn country, then be a farmer. You're like, but Eli, I don't want to be a farmer. Then get the hell out of corn country. You know what I'm saying? Like if you're in West Virginia and everybody around you does coal mining, then it's probably, a good thing to be successful is to be a coal miner or to support the coal mining industry. If you're out here in Farmville, then you want to do farming. You want to do cows or goats or corn or what the hell ever. Again, you may use technology to make that more efficient. Using GPS technology to improve the efficiency of whatever, pesticide usage, maybe, right? But you got to actually be interested in that, right? If you want to, I don't know, do something else. This isn't the place to be. So that's one of the things that I really want a lot of you guys to think about, because a lot of you guys, I mean, again, like really, the honest answer to many of you folks, you're like, Eli, what do I need to do to be successful? It's like step one, move away to some place with a bigger population, right? Again, even 100,000 people you can probably do something with, but when you're out here, you're like, oh my golly. What are you going to do with this, right? And so this is, again, like I say, it's something to really think about. Like if you're in an area and that area only has one factory, again, I wouldn't want to be in that area. You say, well, Eli, yeah, we only have one factory, but we have all these other businesses. But again, one of the things that you have to be concerned about when you go out to buy a house, which is long-term investment, that type of thing, is what happens if that one factory goes out? Do you have what are called keystone businesses? So a lot of these areas like this, they have keystone businesses where they'll have 1 or 2 or 5 factories. Now you look, and it looks like a very economically, well, this doesn't, but like back in the day, 50 years ago, this would look like a very economically robust place, because you have the 5 factories, but you may not even normally see the 5 factories. You see the factories, you see the grocery stores, you see the thriving town center, you see the diners, you see all that. So you go, wow, this is a thriving place. But if you only got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 factories that are really bringing in the massive economic power, the thing is what happens when those go away? Well, think about it. All of those people that work for the factories, 5 or 10,000 people, they then all lose their paychecks. All the people who supply the factories, again, whether it's trucking companies, whether it's box companies, whether it's pallet companies, whether it's food for the executive bigwigs, all of that stuff goes away. All of those paychecks go away, and then all of a sudden you're left with a place that really hasn't changed in like my entire lifetime, right? And so again, that's one of those things that you got to be thinking about from an economic standpoint. Do you want to be building your business? Do you want to be doing economic development in a place where the entire economy rests on just a couple of things? Again, 1 factory, 2 factories, it goes away and everything is screwed. Now, some of you guys out there then thinking, well, like Eli though, but you don't understand. It's in my blood. I have roots here. So what do I do then? I can't move. I won't move, right? Well, then, again, you have to be thinking about things like, what can you sell, what can you do that people all over the world will be willing to buy that you don't necessarily have to move for. So, again, things like YouTube content creation, right? So right now, I'm sitting here in the middle of a cornfield, but realistically, like, I can do my YouTube content creation from anywhere in the country. I did, right? I was in a travel trailer, and I did it from anywhere in the country. So it's things like that. But that's one of the things that you have to think about is there's always trade-offs. There's always give and there's always take. If you want to be a robotics engineer, there are certain places in the country where you need to go to be a robotics engineer, right? On the other hand, if you just want to do technology, then being very open with the type of technology you're willing to do can be valuable. If you just say, I want to do technology, I'm here in the middle of Ohio, what can I do here? Well, again, you could probably do web development, right? Everybody needs a website. B, nobody really cares where you are when you build that website. So you could go from here, you could travel to all the major cities, do all your schmoozing, get all your clients, and then bring all that work back here, right? Or you could do things, again, like I say, content creation. But again, it's something that you have to think about. If you want to be, I don't know, doing something else, this may not be the place for it. If you wanted to create like an IT support company, yeah, I'm not sure this is the place that I would go for. So these are some of the things that I want you guys to be thinking about as you guys are trying to push your career forward is if you want to be, it's what is your focus? Is my focus, this is where I have to be and this is where I'm always going to be? And if that's the case, then you need to be flexible with how you're willing to be successful. Okay, maybe if you're going to be here, again, mobile app development, I'm not sure I do that here. Again, things like web development, that would probably work out for you. Other things may work out for you, but you got to be flexible with what you're willing to do. On the other hand, if you're like, no, Eli, I want to be successful, Well, then again, you travel. Again, you go to Silicon Valley, or you go to Boston, or you go to New York, or you go someplace else that has a larger population. My final thought on all this, too, is one of the things that a lot of people don't think about anymore for whatever reason, is they say that the United States, that we're not moving as much as we used to. So I guess people used to move a lot more than they do now. I don't know. I guess, right? You know, somebody else does the statistics, somebody else does the math. But basically, they say we don't move as much as we used to. But one of the things that I would have you guys think about is kind of like how people go off to college. That some of you guys also may want to think about going off to build for professional development's sake. Right, again, this is one thing that a lot of folks don't think about, a lot of youngins don't think about, is they say, Eli, you know, my roots are here, this is in my blood, blah, blah, blah. Well, one of the things you also have to realize is that the more successful you become, the more impressive you become, right? The more flexibility you get in life, right? So if you are a help desk technician, nobody gives a crap what you want. Right? Nobody gives two shits what you want. If you are a help desk technician, good for you. Be happy you got a job. Right? And that's just it, right? If you are on the bottom rung as a technology professional, be happy somebody is paying you. And be ecstatic if that includes health benefits. You know what I'm saying? You know, then you move up a little bit, and then you go to desktop support. Okay, well, once you go up to desktop support, well, then you can get a little more flexibility, right? So when you're in a help desk position, basically take whatever the hell job will get you. There's a job, go take it. I don't care where it is. I don't care what perks you get. Just take the damn job. Well, then you go up to like help desk position or a desktop support position. And once you get up to desktop support position, well, then you get to be skilled enough that you can start choosing what company you want to work for. You know, I want to work for a company that's in this that's close to me, that has a short commute. I want to work at a company that has good possibility of advancement, whatever, right? You get a little more flexibility. Then you get to be a junior level system administrator. You get a little more flexibility. You get to be a senior level administrator. You get more flexibility, right? Because you are more valuable, and as you go up the ladder. It's more competitive because there's fewer people like you. One thing to think about with anybody, you can go from zero to like guru in about a decade. Realistically, and again, I get melodramatic of things, right? But I don't try to get exaggerate. So reasonably, you can go from zero to guru in a decade. And I mean, really, you think about that. And I think any professionals out there will tell you. I mean, you got to work hard. Don't get me wrong. You got to work hard. But you could start at nothing and be a CCIE or whatever in a decade. You could have a CCIE. You could have a PhD. Basically, you could have a lot of experience and you could be valuable. You could be somebody, I say it like me, somebody that is a real professional that can get paid in many, many, many different ways. Because again, when you're a real professional, realize real professionals can get paid in lots of different ways, can get paid well in lots of different ways, right? So like with me, so I get paid well doing YouTube videos, right? Obviously, you guys are watching me. Everybody else watching me. But that's not the only way I can get paid. Again, a company called INE, they do high-level Cisco training. So basically, they train like the people trying to get their CCIEs. So they have hired me at a very impressive rate to basically go down to their offices for 4 days and interview people. It's their equipment, it's their audio stuff, it's their editing. I don't even do any editing. I don't do anything. I just sit there and I'm going to interview all of these CCIEs and these Cisco people. And then they're just going to pay me a good chunk of money, and then I'm going to go home, and then they're going to email me the final results, and they're going to do whatever, right? So I can get paid on YouTube videos. I can get paid being a personality for things. I can get paid for consulting. I get paid for Skype meetings. Again, the Skype meetings aren't too bad. They're going up. I'm charging $25 per meeting now. So I mean, I'm doing 2 a day, so that's $50. I mean, that's not much, but that's $1,000. I mean, think about that. Like, I'm just like, whatever. It's another $1,000 a month. Right? But what I want you guys to be thinking about is, as a real professional, I can get paid a dozen different ways. And when you can get paid a dozen different ways, that's when you can have flexibility. So like I say, for me, I can literally live out of a travel trailer. And still, like last year, I was shocked. I actually laughed when I showed my wife the numbers. And I think it was like $300. I think I was down like $300 for last year. I showed her all the numbers and I was like, dear, look at this. This is hilarious, right? So the year before, I've been like working my ass off, like running after the money. And then last year, as we traveled around the country, I was just like, screw it. I'm just going to travel around the country and live out a travel trailer and not even do very many videos. And I swear to you, since we're about to do the taxes, I did all the metrics or whatever, and I swear I think I lost like $300, like traveling around the country. Oh, it was horrible. It was horrible. For that, I sacrificed $300 in profit. But I'm not saying that to say, oh, look at me, aren't I cool? No, I am cool, right? What I'm trying to say though is once you get to this level, you can be out of a travel trailer. So something to think about is you're like, my roots are here in the middle of Ohio, corn country. One of the things to be thinking about is go, be successful, be impressive. Because right now when you're a help desk technician, nobody cares about you. Simply getting a job is good, right? But you go out there, you become successful, you become somebody, your brain actually has value. And then at that point, you can come back to a place like this. And then many times you can still be getting the salary that you would from one of these big cities while you're living here in corn country. And then it's just good all the way around, right? I mean, like corn country here, can you imagine pulling $250,000 a year in a place like this? You want to talk about like the estate somewhere? You know what I'm saying? Like again, like I say, $250,000 a year in New York City. That's nice. Good for you, right? You make $250,000 a year in a place like this. Holy crap, right? But that's the kind of thing you can do because you go out, you travel. Again, as remote work becomes more normal, as all of this stuff becomes more normal. Again, if you become a consultant, remember as a consultant, like when I&E pays me. So I will go there for 4 days. And basically for 4 days, I will make what most of you guys consider a month's worth of profit or a month's worth of salary. It's actually more than most of you guys make in a month. For 4 days of doing really stupid work, just sitting there in a fucking chair drinking coffee saying, hey, tell the world why a CCIE matters, right? And that, again, like I say, that's the type of thing that you can do. So even if you can't do remote work from a place like this, they have you travel out for projects. And again, as I say, projects are where the real money is. So again, you travel, you spend 2 weeks somewhere else, then you come back, you spend a month and a half here prepping for the next project. Again, do you want that life? Do you want to leave for 5 or 10 years, become impressive, come back, you are somebody, people are willing to pay you, people are willing to track you down, all of that? Or do you want to stay here forever and then hope you can get a job? Again, like I say, my family's throughout this area. And I remember having this conversation with my aunt once. So my aunt's like 20 some odd years older than me. And it was really like one of those scary moments because I was talking to her about, how hard it would be to live in one of these places and where, I said, here, or in Baltimore, that you can just open up the help wanted ads. So at the time we had help wanted ads in the newspaper. It's like you open up the help wanted ads in the newspaper and you've got like 20, 30 pages of employment opportunities. And I was like, it'd be so weird to be out here, because, how hard is it to get a job? And I swear to you, my adult aunt, because I was like 20 at the time. So I was like 20, 21, 22, early 20s. So she was early 40s. And I remember her when she looked at me and she was like being honest, like square in the eyes. She said, no, Eli, no. The gas station's always hiring. And I was just like, I feel like we're having two different conversations here. I do not feel like we are connecting at the business level here. And so I'm sitting there going, like, wouldn't it be hard to get a job in a place like this? And she's saying, no, the gas station is always hiring. And so again, I mean, think about the mentality there. Think about the mentality when you have people that think the gas station always hiring is like A-okay for employment opportunities. You're like, right? So again, sometimes you got to think about going. And then one of the nice things too is when you leave, you can leave, and then you come back. And then once you are impressive, right? Once you're impressive and you come back, one of the things that you can do is you can actually do development once you get back, right? Because again, one of the things a lot of people don't understand with the business world is when you're running a business, you need a few really smart, really talented people. Men, women, Z's. I don't care what they are. Really smart, really talented. They work their asses off, right? So that's usually a business leader, that's the C-level executives, and that's a few other, the CIO, the head, and they are trying to make the world just a better place. Change the world, right? Well, what always gets left out of the equation, especially when you talk about startup life and all that, is then most of the other people in the company, really are cogs, right? You have like 3%, I mean, depending on the size of the company. Again, you've got like 5 to 10 people that are freaking amazing. These people are amazing. They work their asses off. They make a difference in the world. There's 10. And then basically everybody else in the company is just a hanger-on. Everybody else in the company is just a cog in the machine. They don't like to hear it, but they are. Because again, think about with any kind of business. You need sales. You need marketing. You need accounting. You need somebody to clean out the damn toilets. You need people to stock the refrigerators. You need secretaries to answer the phone, right? Even a lot of the quote-unquote high-tech stuff, again, you show somebody how to do something, and then after that, it's a lot of cog work. You look at a lot of like the illustration work, or not illustration, but the graphic work, right? So if you deal with like web design, or if you deal with mobile app development, right? So much of the app development is graphics and colors and all that kind of stuff. You need one really good head designer, but once you've got that, you can fill in with people that basically are really good out of high school, right? That's what these startup companies are doing anyway. And so again, one of the things you can think about is you go out in a wider world. You go out. You adventure in the wider world. You find out what the wider world needs. You come back with your riches. You come back with your opportunities. And then you can start building something here. And the nice part is, again, remember, business, right? Business is about money, right? And business is about, arbitrage? The difference in prices between two places. And so again, one of the things you can do is if you go out in the world and you become impressive, you are somebody, right? And then you can come back here. And the thing is, the people that are hiring you at this point don't care where you are. They pay you based on what they think they should pay you, right? So if they are from New York City, they're going to pay New York City rates. If they're from LA, they're going to pay LA rates. If they're from Baltimore, they're going to pay Baltimore rates. So you can get these high-level clients out of these major cities paying you $100 to $250 per hour, right? Now for you come back here, and that's still your normal rate. So you're like, okay, well I'm making the same amount of money that I would there. The good part about being back here is it just doesn't cost as much. Well, here's where business comes in. Because then what you do is you start building your little business here, right? And again, you may have to bring in 1 or 2 other smart people and pay them well to come here. But then all the other people, the secretary, the graphic designers, all of these other people around here, $20 an hour is a good salary. $20 an hour working for a tech company? Holy crap! Woo, woo, right? And so you build up your nice little business here. You start charging the people in New York $150 an hour. You're paying the people here $20 an hour. And then life is good. You know what I'm saying? And then you go out and you sponsor the local football team, and you get some jersey for the baseball players, and you help, redevelop the little courtyard area, right? And so again, that's the kind of thing that you can think about if you get the idea of that wider world. You go out in the wider world, you make a name for yourself in the wider world, you come back here, not only do you keep making the same rate that you were there, but paying a lot less to live, but then if you can build up something here, again, you're billing out. It's like you go to New York City, and everybody in New York City is, let's say, charging $175 an hour, right? So everybody there is $175 an hour for something like web design or app development. You go out there and you say, hey, you know what, New York City, I'm going to give you the same quality of work. I'll give it to you for $125 an hour. And everyone's like, oh my God, you're so cheap. Then you come back here and you get charged $20 an hour. That's real nice. Making $100 an hour essentially for somebody else's work. If that's not business, I don't know what is, right? So again, one of those things to be thinking about. Because like I say, I get a lot of the snarky, the trolly, all those comments about, oh, Eli, you don't understand. And the thing is, I do. Like I say, my family is, I've been coming to places like this all my life. I fully effing understand. I completely understand, right? And that's why I get so mean with you guys sometimes. And then again, that's the thing. If you just want to be a farmer, and again, I'm not being snarky against the people that live here. Again, like I say, members of my family are factory workers. Members of my family are farmers, but they don't. They know where they are in life, right? If you want to be a farmer in the middle of Ohio, you can't exaggerate what that is. I mean, you know what you're getting into. If you want to be a factory worker out here, you know what you're getting into. So, but a lot of you guys, I want to do technology. I want to be successful. I don't want to build a startup company. That's like you look around. It's like that's not this place, right? If you have hotels that literally don't bother to fix the wallpaper after 30 years, who here do you think is going to invest in your idea? Again, if the hotels literally do not invest in simply fixing any of their fitness equipment, they don't invest in fixing any of their hotel rooms, it is the same crappy thing that it's always been. If this is how business is run here, who do you think is going to invest in your idea? Who do you think is going to buy your idea? Right? Who do you think is going to support you? Nobody. Fuck's sake, nobody. Anyways. So you know what I'm saying? So a lot of times, again, what I would say for a lot of you folks is, at least in the technology world, again, if you want to be a farmer, if you want to be a factory worker, if you want whatever the hell is out here, this is a fine play. Nothing good. But if you're going to be a technology professional, if you're going to build a technology business, be successful, I swear to you, the first thing I would say for probably half the folks watching my videos is move. The first thing is to move to an area that actually has some opportunity, and from there figure out. And again, I know a lot of folks, but Eli, my family's from here. Again, 5 or 10 years. Remember college, right? College is 4 years. If you go for your master's degree, that puts it out to 6 years. And if you go out for your PhD, that probably puts you out to 10 years. So, I mean, how many people go to school somewhere to go all the way up to their PhD? And that's considered completely normal, right? And then they can come back. I would argue the same thing is true with your professional development, is go. Right now, help desk, nobody gives a crap about you. So go out, go to the big city, go to the places with opportunity, move up the career ladder, start talking with people that understand what's going on, figure out what you can come back to this kind of area and then sell out to the rest of the world, and then go from there. Again, I crap you not. I lived out of a damn tree. You cannot get lower on the food chain than I was, at least from a living standpoint, right? I was living in a travel trailer that literally was half the size of my master bedroom for 9 months. And I swear to you, hand to the spaghetti monster, when I looked at the stats, I lost something like $300. My revenue went down $300. And the reason is because at this point, it's no longer about where I am. It's no longer about the location. It's about the ideas in my head. It's about what I am presenting, the solutions that I'm giving. It's no longer about whether I'm in corn country or LA or New York or anything else, right? And that is what you get once you become successful, professional. And in order to get there, you got to go to some place that has opportunities. So anyways, with that, that's a very long-winded thing. I think the wind is down a little bit. I'll give you guys some scenery. So this is what middle of nowhere Ohio looks like. So if you're thinking about moving to Ohio, this is really what it looks like. So again, like that's the hospital. So again, hospital, cornfield, hotel, cornfield, Taco Bell, cornfield, McDonald's, cornfield. That's a cemetery, I think, where my grandma's being buried. Another cornfield. I mean, it really is. Like, that's the thing. Like, cornfield. There's another cornfield over there. Can you see the cornfield over there? There's a cornfield over there. Right? So if you have a cornfield fetish, if you're like, Eli, I gotta get me some cornfield, come to Ohio. Ohio definitely has a cornfield. But anyways, so the wind is picking up again. So I'll go back behind this thing. I'm gonna go off, give my last respects, and truck back to Baltimore. It's so weird. Like I say, it is really weird. Like I say, being like almost a 40-year-old, it is really weird going back to a place that is basically exactly the same, like that I remember when I was 9. Because you really don't get that a lot. You really, like I say, in the modern world, 30 years makes a massive difference. Again, when I went to Seattle, like entire neighborhoods were bulldozed that I knew. And then I come back here, and I swear to you, it's the same. Like this place, other than, like I said, the Taco Bell that's right there, and the McDonald's, they got a facelift. But everything else is basically the same old thing. Anyways, with that, we'll call it a day. I'll see you at the next one of these, whatever the hell these things are.